Hi everyone, today I'm going to share with you some tips and tricks for the new macOS Monterey. Let's get right to it. So macOS Monterey is the latest release and it just came out a few days ago and there are some new features in it. So first of all, I want to show you up here, if we go to About This Mac, we can see macOS Monterey and we can see the version number right there. And we can also see system specifications and stuff like that. And just so you know, I'm running these on an M1 Mac Mini with 8GB of RAM. So let's get right to the tips and tricks. So one big feature in macOS Monterey is universal control. However, that is not out yet. You can't use it. But basically that allows you to use your iPad as a secondary display, but it's actually more like a secondary computer. So you can use your same mouse and keyboard and use them on your iPad, and you can also drag and drop files between the two devices. You can also do this, with another Mac. So say you have an iMac and a MacBook, you can drag and drop files between the two devices. So that's not out yet, but the second one is AirPlay to Mac. So you can go on your iPhone and you can select your Mac as an AirPlay device. But in order to do that, you have to enable it. So you go to System Preferences, and then what you want to do is go to Sharing, and then what you want to do is AirPlay Receiver, and you want to make sure that this is on. You have to have an Apple ID. I'm in a guest session right now, so you can't do that. But anyway, that is how you enable it, and then you can AirPlay with your iPhone. So you can get if you have some wired speakers connected to your computer, you can use those. So the next thing is shared with you. So in the Messages app, you have shared with you stuff, and so if somebody sends you a link or something, in Safari for example, it will appear and shared with you right here. And so you can basically find stuff easier if someone sent it to you. So that is a nice new feature in macOS Monterey. So next up, we have the new Safari. So if we go to Safari right here and we create a new tab, well, it just looks like normal. What's new about that? Well, nothing in the normal thing like they showed initially. If we go to Safari Preferences, we can go to Tabs and we can select Compact. And this is a more compact design. I don't think it's as compact as Safari in Catalina, but it's still pretty compact. And on a small screen, it will really help in your web browsing. Another thing that would help is hiding the dock and putting it to full screen. Speaking of which, if you go full screen, I'm not sure how to enable this exactly, but you can have the menu bar showing up here when you are in full screen. So another thing that we have new is the new Siri Shortcuts app. So if we go right here and do Shortcuts, this is like the app on the iPhone and iPad, except they have it on the Mac. So let's see, what do we have right here? So we can do an automation, or maybe we can't do an automation. I guess there is no option for an automation. There is on iOS, and that's why I thought there was, but I guess it's not here. Anyway, we can do some shortcuts right here. You can create all sorts of things right there. And so these, let's see if the Automator app is still here. The Automator app is still here, but this is an alternative to that. So it will eventually be replaced by Siri Shortcuts probably, but they still have it. And I think some of these icons may be a little different. Maybe it's newer versions of the apps, but I'm noticing pages, numbers, books, stuff like that. It seems new. I'm not sure if that's a new thing, but I know Siri, that's the new icon in the new versions of iOS and stuff like that. Same thing with Maps. So they're kind of bringing those changes over to the Mac. And another thing, this is a fairly small thing, but the cursor, you can now change the color of the cursor. So let's see, I'm not sure where, oh, here. So pointer outline color, that's more like Windows. So we can, mess with our cursor, and of course we have these sizes always. But we can mess around with the appearance of the cursor. You can now change the playback speed in QuickTime if you want to watch your videos really fast. Anyway, we have that feature right there. It's a small thing, but it's still a feature. We have this new feature called Quick Note. And so if we move the mouse down to the corner, we have this, we can click. And it opens a note. Well, I guess we have welcome to notes here. So let's see, if we go out of that, that's just because I'm in a guest session. So if we were to do that again, we have a quick note right here. And it's like on the iPad where you can swipe up from the same corner with the Apple Pencil to get a note going. So next up we have focus. And so if we go right here, we can go to focus and we can do preferences right here for focus. And so what we can do is add, let's see, if we do personal, for example, we can turn that on. And so we can choose a focus mode right here. And so then it will say, in your messages app, for example, if somebody else tries to iMessage you, it will say that you have focus enabled if you enable that feature right here. And then basically it will mute the notifications that you select. So that's a feature in iOS that they just brought over. So a new one is live text. So if we go to the Photos app, there's no photos here, but there is live text, and you can basically just select your text in a photo. So that's on iOS as well. So Finder stuff, there's basically like a different thing when you're copying files. So I don't know if I have a file to copy, but basically when you're copying files, it will now show a pie chart, and there are some miscellaneous changes like that. And it's just like, if we go right here, if we go to filter, it shows in a different appearance like that. And so the next one is low power mode, and this is for a MacBook only. I'm on a Mac Mini, so it doesn't apply. But basically you have low power mode. I know that's a really big feature for MacBook users, and you can now conserve energy when you are using it when it's not plugged in. So that is about all that I can think of right now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And if you are new to this channel, make sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. Until next time, it's Fortnon Kiwi from Superuser Project Dial.